modern dating and relationship landscape is defined by a dangerous phenomenon, the asymmetry of accountability. When women cross established lines, whether in communication, behavior, or fidelity, the blame rarely lands where it should. Instead, through a complex dance of social manipulation and ingrained biases, the responsibility is systematically shifted onto the man. This asymmetry stems from a deeply ingrained cultural narrative that positions women as inherently more vulnerable, more emotional, and less capable of malicious intent. This narrative provides a social shield that deflects criticism, so when a woman is aggressive, demanding, or even outright disrespectful, the man is often blamed for provoking her, not understanding her, or failing to provide for her emotional needs. Her transgression becomes a reaction to his perceived inadequacy. Consider the example of emotional volatility. When a woman unleashes a tirade, a man is often told to be patient, to listen, or to manage her emotions. If he reacts in kind or worse disengages, he is immediately labeled as unsupportive, cold, or abusive. Her crossing the line of respectful communication becomes a test of his emotional endurance, a test he is set up to fail. This dynamic teaches women a devastating lesson. Their behavior has no real consequences, especially if they can frame it as a response to male deficiency. It removes any incentive for self-correction and instead encourages further boundary testing, knowing the ultimate blame will fall elsewhere. The man is trapped in a no-win scenario, where his calm response is seen as coldness and his reaction is seen as aggression. The second and perhaps most destructive aspect is the weaponization of the victim narrative. When a woman crosses a line, whether it's infidelity, financial exploitation, or emotional abuse, the immediate and often automatic response is to activate a victim narrative that reframes her actions as a consequence of male behavior.
Infidelity. A woman's cheating is often excused by claims that he wasn't paying attention, he was emotionally unavailable, or she felt neglected.
The responsibility for her choice to violate trust is placed on the man's supposed failings, not her own. Financial exploitation. If a woman drains a man's resources or misuses shared funds, it can be spun as, he should have provided more, she needed it, or he was controlling with money. Her crossing the line of financial integrity becomes a symptom of his perceived stinginess or dominance. Emotional abuse, check gaslighting. A woman's manipulative or emotionally abusive behavior is often dismissed as stress, her hormones, or a reaction to his toxic masculinity. The man who calls out this behavior is then accused of not understanding women or being insensitive. This weaponization ensures that the man is always defensive. He is forced to justify his actions or lack thereof, rather than holding her accountable for her own. This creates a psychological environment where men are terrified to call out bad behavior, knowing they will instantly be painted as the aggressor or the cause of the problem. This silences male voices and entrenches the asymmetry. We are pulling back the curtain on the subtle yet brutal mechanisms of relational manipulation. If you are tired of being caught in these no-win scenarios and want to understand how to defend your frame, then take a second right now to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Join the PsycheLens community for more intense, unfiltered truths about accountability and power dynamics in modern relationships. The modern era has added a new, terrifying layer to this blame game, the social media trial. When a woman crosses a line and the man attempts to react, defend, or simply disengage, he risks a public, one-sided narrative that can instantly destroy his reputation, career, and social standing. A woman's emotional reaction, even if it is a response to her own transgression, can be instantly amplified and weaponized online. A short decontextualized video, a series of emotionally charged posts, or a public accusation can paint the man as an abuser, a creep, or a villain, regardless of the actual events. The burden of proof is inverted. The man is guilty until he can somehow impossibly prove his innocence against a tsunami of public outrage. This risk creates an immense chilling effect. Men are learning that the safest response to a woman crossing a line is often total non-engagement and silence, even if it means absorbing the blame. They cannot defend themselves without risking a disproportionate, life-altering backlash. This power dynamic means women can use the threat of public shaming as a preventative measure to ensure men do not hold them accountable. This isn't about isolated incidents, it's about a systemic power imbalance in the court of public opinion. It means that even when a woman is clearly in the wrong, the man is incentivized to take the blame or simply disappear, because the cost of fighting for the truth is too high. This dynamic destroys the possibility of genuine conflict resolution and honest communication. The consequence of this consistent asymmetry of accountability is a profound and growing male disengagement. Men are rationally adapting to an environment where calling out transgressions or defending boundaries carries unacceptable risks. They are learning that the safest strategy is to simply withdraw their emotional, financial, and relational investment. When a woman crosses the line and the man is consistently blamed, he internalizes a simple lesson. It's not worth it. He stops offering deep commitment, he stops investing his emotional labor, and he becomes wary of entering into high-stakes relationships like marriage. He observes the fate of other men who are financially ruined or socially shamed for daring to hold women accountable, and he chooses self-preservation. This leads to a widening chasm in gender relations. Women continue to test boundaries, often unaware of the silent, accumulating resentment. Men, on the other hand, are opting out, pursuing alternatives, or remaining single, choosing to protect their peace and resources from a system that seems inherently rigged against them. The only way to reverse this trend is through a radical re-evaluation of mutual accountability. Both men and women must be held to the same standards of behavior, emotional regulation, and responsibility for their actions. Until society sheds the protective social shield for women and allows men to defend their boundaries without fear of disproportionate blame, the cycle of transgression, blame, and disengagement will only intensify, leaving genuine partnership as an increasingly rare relic of the past.